Okay, so why don't you tell me about the new album?
Yeah, so
Where did you make it and all that good stuff?
Yeah, so the album's called Action Figures, and I started tracking the drums and one rhythm guitar at Group Effort Studios down in Kentucky.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and Jeff Monroe was the recording engineer, and Eric May is the drummer. Now I've known Eric since we were 5 years old. We were in Indian Guides together, which is such
I did that too.
Did you? I mean, and then we even mentioning the name of that now is like inappropriate. It's, you know, Indigenous People's Guide or whatever. Back then, of course, it was very innocuous, and it was like a version of Boy Scouts, right? But it was. Me and Eric were in that since we were 5, so I've played on and off with Eric my whole life. So I wanted to kind of get that, capture that thing we have. So we went in down there and recorded the rhythm tracks in studio, just drums and one rhythm guitar.
Okay.
And then brought everything back here and just recorded everything else in this room, basically. Did all the guitar overdubs, did all the vocals, had Joni Whitaker come in and do one vocal, and then but other than that, pretty much did everything else myself here. And then added horns down in the studio again about a year ago. Went down and did a horn session with 4 players and overdubbed those, and then again just came back here. So other than the horns and the vocal by Joni, it's pretty much me and Eric on the whole thing.
What was about how long did you think?
I started sessions for it in November of 22, so we just sporadically tracked the rhythm tracks through like the beginning of like 23, and then I had most of it done by last summer, and then just some personal stuff took over with family I had to address. Mixed it at the end of the year, so it took about a year and a half to get it done. And now I'm just in that. I mean, it's literally actually available today, so it's now coming out today in digital formats. But yeah, it'll when the release show September 8th comes around, it'll be almost 2 years of working on the whole thing. And that's like the album, the video, putting the band together, you know, lots of different things.
So when's the release show?
The release show is Sunday, September 8th at 7 p.m. at Southgate House Reunion. Awesome. So your shirt. Oh, nice, and the tattoo. Oh my gosh,
that's been there a while, but
what's the perfect place for me? So yeah, and then there's going to be a band doing full production. It's a full production album. You know, it's like a Beatley, you know, Staxy kind of album with full production. So I have 5-piece band playing that night, and I'm also going to do an acoustic set that night.
Who's playing in the band that night?
Joni Whitaker from the Clazels has honored me with her presence in this band again. And Joni and I have been music partners kind of on and off, you know, for 25 years. So we've sung together forever. And so just having her being able to come in and do that high vocal and being able to work the rhythm guitar parts was vital. So she's playing rhythm guitar and singing. Mark Fisher is playing trumpet, keyboards, percussion, and electronic percussion. It's basically that setup you see right behind you. You see like the Nord and the and all the percussion stuff. He's got a harmonizer on his trumpet because, as I said, there's a horn section on the album, and so he's got a little bit of that going. So he's like juggling all the things basically, and he's singing harmony too.
Damn.
Then we got Matt Wiles playing bass. You know, jazz standby, the awesome Matt Wiles playing bass. And then on drums, the drummer from the album, Eric, again, the guy I've been playing with, Eric May, been playing with him since 1976, is playing drums for us. So I'm super excited. It's like a great group of people.
Who else? Are you having anybody open?
I am the opener, actually. Now it's all Jason, man. It's going to be an all Jason show. The opening, the opening thing is going to be me playing like 6 acoustic songs, and I'm going to be joined on stage by Lauren Schlomer on violin, who is also incredible. So yeah, so she's a part of the festivities as well.
Cool. I watched the video. I don't even know where to begin to ask about it, but. You mentioned earlier you did it here and did it yourself. And, I mean, you don't have to go through the whole process of it, but briefly, maybe give us a Cliff Notes version of it, or
Yeah.
the process? Or...
Right. So I had built action figures a few years ago. I went through a big action figure phase where I was really making a lot of custom action figures, which, for those of you who don't know what that is, you just kind of take maybe a pre-existing body, maybe like a Batman figure, and you make it into some new figure or some figure that maybe doesn't exist in that form that looks like Batman, and there's you know, you can add components to it and kind of mod it out to make it look like different things. So I've made some custom action figures and a lot of custom dioramas. Like I completely nerded out on that. So I remember you telling me about, you know, Lego collections and things like that. People have their cool collections. Like this whole upper floor was just filled with action figures, man, and filled with dioramas. I had just like really nerded out on all the dioramas. I had like custom lights inside the dioramas and all kinds of things.
You can do that with Legos too now.
Yeah, right on. Well, I have some Lego components I started to incorporate early on into them. But anyway, I had all this stuff sitting around, and then when I started thinking of the name of the album, of course, when you do this, you're doing the recording, you're putting the band together, you're also doing all this press. So, and I'm doing the art myself. So you start thinking about little artistic themes that you can use to hang everything on. So I thought, well, action figures, the songs are up-tempo, they're all happy kind of up-tempo tunes, they're action figures, right? There's certain kind of drum fills that happen through the album that I would call like purposely dumb drum fills, like a drum fill that goes, bah! It's an action figure. So anyway, just kind of tying that in with my love of action figures, I thought that would be a visual theme that I could use, and I could take pictures of action figures. And then when it came time for video, I'm like, oh, stop motion action figures, which is, I'd always been interested in stop motion stuff since I saw early Star Wars documentaries covering those kinds of things. But I, you know, as I told you earlier, you know, I didn't have the equipment or maybe the time, the ability to focus that long to do something like that when we were kids. And now it's easy. So I just downstairs in the basement studio took a bunch of my custom action figures that I had made like in 2017-18, and I was like, oh, look, I have all these things. And did a bunch of stop motion work with that. And it's, again, fairly, you know, it's a long time consuming process, but technically it's easy now, especially when I already had all the sets and all the actors ready to go. So it was just a nice serendipity of some things, and then I had some things already built, and I could put some production value into the video and still do it cheap. Yeah,
like I couldn't imagine how much you would have to pay somebody to do that. It would be astronomical.
Yeah, it was a lot of time, man. It's a lot of time. And you know, at this level, I want to say at this level, I mean, I take this stuff very seriously, but when you're doing it all yourself, you're just trying to not spend so much and just spend more time instead of money, right? Yeah. So instead of hiring that stuff out, and you know, let's be honest, it's fun to do it. I mean, it's really fun to get in there and make a thing.
I started as a photographer, and then I'm like, oh, I'll set up a video camera. And then I realized, oh, I'm going to have to record audio, too, separately. So then it just snowballed.
Right.
I started doing all that stuff.
Yeah, and you have to dive in and do it. Like the first stop motion, I was like, what stop motion software do I use? You have to do some research. Like at every stage of a DIY project as big as this, you're like, oh, how do I pinpoint my engineering? Or, you know, there's certain skills you have to just keep developing. And I had never done it before, so I had to like figure out some things. But thankfully, the technical job for us is done largely these days.
Yeah.
So I didn't have to use film cameras and things like that. I could just use I think I just used a really cheap camera that I'd ordered, like a $200 camera to do all the shots with. And it was really just more about spending time and making sure everything was lit properly and things like that.
You don't need a $10,000 camera to do it.
Exactly. And as I said, everything was done in camera. Even the later we have some live footage of the band in the video also, just on the choruses. That was a pre-production plan. Like, I can't spend a lot of money getting a lot of people in front of a camera, so just the choruses will have the band, right? And that way we could just limit it to one shot, and we you know, did that thing again. Just a big learning process about how to use cameras and things, but it's put me down that road where now I'm into making videos, and I think the next one will have some stop motion stuff in it too.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
You have another one planned?
Yeah, The Kiss That Killed You is going to be the next one. The first one was last June, which is the first track on the album, which I'll probably play for you, and I'll also play for you. Kiss That Killed You will be the next one.
Oh, cool.
Which will probably again incorporate mainly the stop motion stuff and then some band footage.
Very cool. So where can we find you on the internet, basically?
Right, so the album, first of all, is available in digital formats right now on either Amazon or iTunes. Cool. I don't do any other platforms other than that, so you just have to kind of get them through those two things. Or you can check out my YouTube channel, which is not, it'll be up in a month. It's going to be Jason Ericksongs, which is also the website. So Jason Ericksongs, ERICKSONGS, is where you can find a lot of stuff. And then just, my personal Facebook page is just Jason Erickson.
Cool. So let's hear some music.
All right, man. Let me play the opening track off the album here.
Okay.
First of all, I need to get a little sip of Beetle coffee. Tracy slipped into the shower with a knife today, ripping the curtains, shouting while the cops dragged her away. She's been searching in the rumor mill upon the campus square. She heard a story, it couldn't be right. Now all those vows we made, they seem to fade to gray. Now that I've got nothing more to say, and all those times we had, they seem so far away. When you act so crazy, my girlfriend Tracy broke into my car and cut my brakes away. I'm sliding and skating, scraping to a halt upon the hill. She's moaning by my window with the dogs at night. She heard a story, it couldn't be right. Now all those vows we made, they seem to fade to gray. Now that I've got nothing more to say, and all those times we had, they seem so far away. When you act so crazy, I hear you sawing all the rungs upon my ladder. I smell the poison in my morning tea. I see the safe upon the second floor. You, baby, and I know why you had to get me back. I said to Tracy, why'd you let the wind blow all our love away? I only meant to put it in the closet for another day. I'm sorry, baby, I guess I did things I didn't want you to know. You heard a story, it might have been right. All those vows we made, they seem to fade to gray. Now that I've got nothing more to say, and all those times we had, they could be ending soon. This could be the last June. They seem to fade to gray. Now that I've got nothing more to say, and all those times we had, they seem so far away.
Very nice.
Thank you.
I like
Appreciate
that.
it. last June, and then immediately all the questions. Well, did you have a girlfriend? You know.
That's funny. That is a lot of inspiration for songs. A lot of times.
Yeah, sometimes it is, right? Even if it's a story someone else told you.
That's funny.
All right, can I do a few more tunes for you?
Absolutely.
All right. So this one's called "The Kiss That Killed You."
That's gonna be the next video.
Yeah, it's gonna be the next video. Again, it's gonna have some stop motion stuff, and not directly inspired, but the title of this has an inspiration related to COVID-19. If you think that through. Baby, just singing that same old song again. I'll be sure to listen. In this bed we made for just us two. Baby, just sing me that same old song again. I'll be sure to listen, like I never did before. Like I never did before. Mine was the kiss that killed you, and the embrace that turned you all the way around and put you on the ground. I have the arms that held you, I hold the heart that had you happy every day. That's all that I could say. Take a drink of wine and be with me one more time. We can dance again. We can make up all those moves. Step on my feet, let me walk you around the room. Won't you smile again, like you always did before. Like you always did before. Mine was the kiss that killed you, and the embrace that turned you all the way around and put you on the ground. I have the arms that held you, I hold the heart that had you happy every day. That's all that I could say. Baby, just tell me that same old thing again. I'll be sure to listen, though I've heard it all before. Sometimes people don't tell you what they want to say, they just say it anyway, with the laughter in their eyes. With the laughter in their eyes. With the laughter in their eyes. Mine was the kiss that killed you, and the embrace that turned you all the way around and put you on the ground. I have the arms that held you, I hold the heart that had you happy every day. That's all that I could say. Mine was the kiss that killed you, and the embrace that turned you all the way around and put you on the ground. Mine was the arms that held you, I hold the heart that had you happy every day. That's all that I could say. I salute you, Scott Preston. Musically.
Oh, that's great.
Let's do a more rockin' tune.
Very cool.
This one I feel, again, in this day and age, I feel like I need to put caveats and explanations out about this one, but I'm not going to.
That's fine.
Everybody can just deal with this. Sit back and let me tell you about a no-good woman I know. Drove off with all my money and left me with a wreck in tow. No, 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 no. I've been down that road before. Cruising with her high-class friend, she lied behind my back, telling tales out of school and changing all the facts. That bitch in the silver Cadillac ran over my heart, but after a while the sadness ends. Nothing gonna drive me like sweet revenge. Whoa, no, 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 no. I got my phone and followed that hoe. She drove that fancy car to the wrong side of the tracks, wore that Gucci dress into a rundown shack. That bitch in the silver Cadillac, I saw what you did. Told her new lover about my YouTube show, smashed the notification bell and let her sad ass go. A viral video, she's a star and don't even know. Well, the cops come a knocking cause the bitch be smoking crack. She lost her money and the bank account is whack. She had a big mouth attack. That bitch in the silver Cadillac. On the run, under the gun, well, and as long as she's under the sun, I'm gonna deal her cards from the deck that I got stacked. I'm gonna eat her lunch, she come running back for a snack. I'm gonna drive the train that knocks that bitch off track. That bitch in the silver Cadillac, she picked the wrong road to ride.
Yeah, rock and roll.
Yeah, man. Even if you didn't like the song, man, I'm trying to deliver the ending as best I can.
Well, thank you very much.
Appreciate you, man.
For recording all this with me today. And album release show September 8th, Southgate House.
Yeah, and the album's available now. Action Figures by Jason Erickson. But yeah, the big show's coming up.
Awesome.
September.
Well, thank you very much, sir.
Thanks, Scott. Appreciate you.